السلام والتحية والإكرام على أول مصدوره وخاتم أنبيائه الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرضين بأبي القاسم المصطفى محمد والصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين المظلومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس أهل البيت وطهرهم تطهيرا واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية الباقية على أعدائهم ومنكري فضائلهم وغاصبي حقوقهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الإمام الحسين عليه الصلاة والسلام: إني لم أخرج أشرا ولا بطرا ولا مفسدا ولا ظالما، وإنما خرجت لطلب الإصلاح في أمة جدي. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Respected scholars, my elders, dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, yet another night, and we are at service of Aba Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salatu wasalam. For sure, it is very necessary to understand what were the purposes and the goals and the visions that Imam Hussein stood up for. And it is equally important, after understanding the goals and the visions, to implement the same into our lives. And that is why we were discussing that when we look at Karbala, we will understand there are two ideologies. Karbala is not a battle of the swords. It's not a battle of men. It's not a battle of power. It's the battle of ideologies. It's the war of mindsets. It's the clash between the worldview. On one hand, we see that Yazid was portraying and promoting the corrupt ideology amongst the people and the Islamic Ummah at that time. The corrupt ideology was that look at the things wrongly, incorrectly, inaccurately. But on the other hand, Imam was trying to fight against this concept, and he was trying to establish the concepts the way the concepts are. The way the correct ideology and the correct worldview and the accurate worldview was. And this is where we are reaching to our topic of discussion, that Karbala is the battle between the two ideologies. One hand, we have the correct ideology. On the other hand, we have the corrupt ideology. Last night, we presented that Yazid wanted all the people to have a purposeless life, meaningless life. Get busy with the things which are meaningless. Get busy with the power. Get busy with the lahw and la'ib, the things which are meaningless. Get busy with the, dancings, musics, and, those sort of gatherings and all. And these were happening at that time, and Yazid was promoting all those things because he was believing in that. And I'm not telling from my end, I'm basing my discussions on the even discussions which Yazid himself pronounced at that time. لعبت هاشم بالملك فلا خبر جاء ولا وحي نزل. What is this phrase? This statement tells a lot. It says the whole ideology of Yazid, which was based on shirk and nifaq, Yazid was trying to take all the people at that time to the time of ignorance, to the time of Jahiliyyah, to the Zaman of Jahiliyyah. And that is why he was basing all his steps and movements based on this ideology. But on the other hand, Imam wanted the Islam to remain. Imam wanted the Islamic values to remain. So we as the Husseini people, what is our responsibility? Our responsibility to understand what is the value that Imam fought for. And we need to implement that ideology in our lives. This is our responsibility. From a life which is meaningless life. Like I said before, there are many examples. I just presented some of the examples to you. Many a times we are getting ourselves busy in the things. You know, one of the reasons why Islam has prohibited and made haram many of the things, the concepts are based on the concept of lahw and la'ib. Many of the ulama and the maraji', when you go to them, you would ask Ayatollah Sistani, tell me what music is haram and what music is halal. He would not reply to you that, okay, this jazz is halal and just pop is haram, etc., etc. No. They would say, if the music is suitable for lahv and la'ib, if the music is having a standard of lahv and la'ib, then it is haram. What is lahv and la'ib? The easiest way would be we could just select one type of music and we say this is the haram music. But no, the base and the criteria that normally ulama are presenting is not this one. The criteria is that it has to be suitable with the lahv and la'ib. Lahv and la'ib is what? What is the definition of lahv and la'ib? Lahv and la'ib can be anything which is bringing you, taking you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The moment you are coming to masjid, you are coming to Imam Barga, you are mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I was explaining to some of the brothers some days back that many of the people are thinking that the niyyat in namaz is a practice. You would say, Maulana, are you giving me another new statement? I'm not giving you a new statement. There is hadith with regards to the niyat of namaz which says, Sallu nawiyan. Hadith does not say, If'alin niyah, i'malin niyah, something like that. Hadith says, Sallu nawiyan. That means, Sallu, you perform your namaz. Your namaz starts where from? From the very first Allahu Akbar that you say, yes? And it ends with Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When Imam says, Sallu nawiyan, what does it mean? This means perform your namaz whilst you are having the niyyat. I'm giving you a very sensitive statement, though I'm giving you the technical perspective. The practical perspective is on to you. Sallu nawiyan means I need to perform my namaz whilst having the niyyah. So tell me, when I was reciting Surah Al-Hamd, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Al-Hamd, do I have the niyyah that I am reciting namaz for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Yes, I have. Maliki yawmiddin, still have. Iyaka na'budu, iyaka nasta'in, still have. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, still have. And then the other surah, still have, until you reach to the ruku. And you said Allahu Akbar and you are going to watch ruku. Now you are going outside. Okay, what is that on the table? There was something that I'm just forgetting what was on the table. The moment you said Sami Allahu liman hamida, your mind is going outside of the Imam Barga and Masjid as well. What was there? Whose car was there outside of the Masjid, parked over there? Is he someone who parked in wrong place, etc.? Then all of a sudden when you said Allahu Akbar for sajda, your mind has gone to your office. Oh, I forget something in the office. There was a task my boss has given to me and this and that. Now you are, just walking around your office. You are not here anymore. Your physique, your body is here. Your soul is in your office. Your physics is here, but your soul is in your school. You have to complete your homework. You have to complete your project. Yeah, there was an assignment. Oh God, my assignment, my exams. I have another exam tomorrow. How am I going to prepare my exam, etc., etc.? So you tell me, when you go to sajda, when you go to the ruku, when you are reciting namaz, do you have the same state of sallu nawiyan, or you are not having your niyat over there? The answer is you lost your niyat. The moment your mind went to somewhere else, you are not mindful anymore. That would mean, technically, that would mean your namaz is batil. But I'm not saying that every namaz you are, the moment you are just going around, going out of the masjid, your namaz is batil. But technically the hadith says this. The same way, you need to have that religion with you all the times. That's perspective, that ideology, that worldview that Imam is fighting for. This has to be with you all the times. If the meaning is not there, if the purpose is not there in your life is of no use. And here comes one of the things you would ask Quran, what is purpose of my life? I can't expand more than this. So some of the times I'm just leaving the loopholes over here. So afterwards, maybe when we are having discussions regarding maybe football or something, there we can connect our discussions with the same discussion of Karbala as well. Question, you are asking Imam, you fought for a meaningful life. You fought for the purposeful life. I want to have a purposeful life. What is the way? How do I have purpose in my life? How do I have meaning in my life? The answer is Quran. Go read Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. That means ibadat is purpose of your life. You would ask again, oh Imam Hussein, I want to have ibadat in my life. And when I see back to Karbala, I see even the enemies are reciting and performing namaz. They are doing the dhikr, they are performing the fastings. They are wonderfully reciting the Quran even. Oh Mawla, does that mean that they are having purposeful life? Then why you are fighting them? Imam would come back to you and say, you are taking something wrong. You are taking the concept of ibadah in the wrong manner. Have you thought that the religiosity and the ibadah is by numbers of raka'at that you do? Do you think that religiosity comes with the sign on my face, maybe on my forehead? Luckily, I have a little bit of sign. That's why I can give this example. Otherwise, I would not give this example. Do you think this ibadat and religiosity comes with the number of fastings that you had in your life, or number of hajj that you did, or number of ziyarats that you go? Do you think these are important things the way the enemies were doing? If you are thinking so, then you are in complete darkness. I will be giving one example today from amongst the people and companion of Karbala, companion of Imam Hussein, whose Jannah is secured. Nobody over here can claim that his or her Jannah is secured or assured by anyone. Nobody can claim. But that person can claim. I will give you the example. But before that, understand what Imam Hussein was fighting for. And please, why we are discussing this? We are elaborating the situation at that time, just to hear it out or to compare our situations with the situation of that time. This is equally important to compare ourselves as well. At the time of Imam Hussein, there were three groups of the people who were religious people. Group number one were the real religious people, like the ones who were with Imam, who were standing with Imam, who were walking with Imam, who were having the movement of Imam. Group number two were the people who were not religious people, but they were pretending to be religious people, i.e. hypocrites. Yeah? So number two were the ones who internally they were completely against Imam, against Islam, against namaz, against fasting, against hajj, against zakah, but they were pretending to be Muslims. The very explicit examples could be Shimr, could be Umar bin Sa'ad, could be many of the people over there, including Yazid. These were the people for sure, because they were negating the very teachings of Islam, because they were negating that there was no risala, there was no nubuwah, there was no wahi. They were negating the teachings of Islam in practice and in concept as well. So conceptually and theoretically, they were negating Islam. Practically, Yazid was explicitly and openly, he was drinking. He was doing the haram things. He was involved in many of the lahv and la'ibs. He was involved in many of the things which were not allowed. So that means Yazid was one of the peoples who were pretending to be a Muslim. So this group is very clear. The people who are really Muslim, the people who are really non-Muslims, but they are pretending to be Muslims. But there was a third group. The third group was the one who was deceived by the second group. These were not truly non-Muslim people, truly deceived people, truly evil people. These were deceived by the evils, including Hazrat Hur. Hazrat Hur was on the other side, but essence of Hazrat Hur was a good essence. He was positive, he was good, but he was deceived by the evil people. Now, what is our stance? Where do we stand in this world? Are we from amongst the second group, truly evil people? I don't think so. Any of us would say that we are truly evil people. Are we truly good people, righteous people? This is also a very tough answer, because nobody could claim that I am truly a righteous person. So we are in between. Some of the times we are guided by the righteous people, some of the times we are deceived by the evil people. Now we need to understand where we are getting deceived, and that is when we need to rectify ourselves. The deception is that we are going with the numbers. The deception is that we tag people, that we justify people, that we say, okay, if a person hasn't come to Majlis for 8 days or 7 days or a week or so, and you were coming to the Majlis and all of a sudden you see, there's a new face today. This buddy, he wasn't there in the Majlis. All of a sudden he's there. That means, he was busy in something which is lahv and la'ib maybe. He was busy playing, he was busy enjoying. All of a sudden he became a Husseini person, he became a Azadar person, he became a Muslim person. Oh, come on. He's not that good. Tagging people. I've seen someone somewhere. Maybe he was going to a place which is not allowed to go in. And all of a sudden you are tagging him, justifying him. This person was going somewhere, I've seen him. Maybe there is something which is a bit fishy, suspicious about someone. All of a sudden you saw that he is sounding somehow suspicious. That means that he has done something wrong. Here comes the deception. That our deen, our religion says, no, you need to have that husn dhan. You need to think 70 times, justify rightly your brother, your mu'min brother, your mu'min brethren 70 times, and then decide that someone has done something wrong. But our priority becomes that the moment we see something suspicious, we say, he is wrong. This is the deception. Imam Hussein is fighting for a very righteous essence, but we are going towards the evil essence. Imam is changing the concept of ibadah. This is where Imam is changing the worldview. We were having the worldview that if somebody goes to Hajj, that means he is having the accepted Hajj. Don't you remember that very popular anecdote of Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wasalam? Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Where there was one Sahabi with Imam, and the moment they entered into the compound of Kaaba, they saw many people, thousands of people are there, and all of a sudden this Sahabi says, Imam, can you see this? How many people are coming for Hajj? Ma akthar al-hujjaj. He says, how the number of Hujjaj is? Imam replied, Ma aqall al-Hujjaj. Can't you see these are not Hujjaj? This tasbih and tahleel and this and that, this is not the true tasbih, true haji, true ibadah. What do you mean by this? And in some of the narrations is that this person was a blind person, he was just hearing out. All of a sudden Imam puts his hand on his eyes and he could see, but he could see beyond the physical realm. And he saw that all the people who are going around the Kaaba, these are not human beings, these are animals. There is pig, there is dog, there is other animals. All of a sudden he said, oh Imam, this is the reality. Please give me my blindness back. I don't want to see these people. At times we focus on the numbers. My brothers, my sisters, numbers and appearance of our religion, of our ibadah is important when there is an inner self as well. There is an essence as well. If the essence is not there, your numbers are not being counted. Let me connect to our current situation. How many times you are coming, especially to the youngsters, how many of the du'as that you are reciting over here you understand? How many of namaz that you perform you understand? When you come to recite adhan, do you understand it completely? How many of verses of Quran do you understand? How many of the ziyarat that you recite you understand? I'm not even talking about a deeper understanding of the du'as and ayat and ziyarat and all. I'm asking about a simple translation. Do you understand a simple translation of the du'as? If only anybody could stand up over here and says, okay, I know a complete translation of Du'a Kumail. Again, every day I'm offering you one gift. Today also I can offer you one. By the way, nobody comes after the Majlis to get the gift. Is there anybody who can stand up now and say, I know the translation of Du'a Kumail in completion? Isn't this a question that we need to ask ourselves? Is this my ibadah where I know our intentions are very clean? Our intentions are very clear that we are coming over here to announce to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I'm here for your obedience, O Allah. But is that enough? If that was enough, Allah would never tell you to come to the masjid for your namaz. He would have said, okay, you stay back at your home, have a clean heart, stay over there, relax on your bed and go play something, maybe with joysticks and all, PS5 or 6. Have we got 6? 5, PS5? But no, Allah said, no, you need to leave your PS5 and you need to come over here. You need to attend the namaz, attend jama'ah, attend masjid. What for? To just come and participate and go and just hear out some Arabic verses, some Arabic sentences without even understanding a bit of it? Come on. If this is what we are performing as religion, then we are lacking the whole concept of religiosity. We need to at least put some efforts to understand even some of the common words at least. I'm requesting you, my youngsters especially, you put some efforts. Go join some of the courses where you can understand at least some common words of Arabic. When you are coming for namaz, you need to understand what you are asking, what you are telling, how you are calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you say Allahu Akbar, you need to understand what does it mean. When you say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, you need to understand what does it mean. When you say Subhanallah, 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 it's not whispering of a speaker or something, pss, 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 that's it. No. This is something meaningful. This is giving you meaning to your life. But if you don't understand what you recite, how it is going to give you the meaning and purpose of your life? How the people at that time, they used to sit and cry and talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They used to understand what they are asking for, how they are calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't want to go more than this to fear you out and talk about the scary things. But this is the reality of the world. I remember when I was in Mombasa on one of the days in Ramadan, we had a play by our madrasa boys, which was about a golden key. So the whole play was about the same thing, that we've got a key, which is a golden key. We've got a number of doors to open. And there is a description, a note, which tells us that how to go and open the doors. وَعِنْدَهُ مَفَاتِحُ الْغَيْبِ. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the keys of the heavens and the earth. But how do you use this key? The description is there. The guideline is there. But I am not smart enough to go and read down the guideline. And this is the problem. You say, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm reciting this namaz, I'm doing this dua, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not accept my dua. What was the dua about? I don't know, it was some Arabic phrases. I just read it down. And even nowadays, I'm sure not every youngster is willing to read the Arabic version. They are having transliteration, and with the AI technologies, we are having very fast transliterations, very accurate ones, and we are going even with the du'as, we are going with the transliterations. That is another issue. So this is what Imam changed. Imam understood that the ibadah at that time is happening with the numbers. Imam understood that even enemies are performing the numbers. They are saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, but they are not understanding it. They are saying Subhanallah, Subhanallah, but they are not understanding it. There is something missing. At that time, the missing element was not the translation, because all of them were Arabs. They were understanding what they are reciting. They were understanding what they are saying. But there was another element that was missing at that time. We need to find out what is the missing element of our ibadah. At that time, the missing element was the essence of ibadah. Essence of ibadah is either uluhiyah or nubuwwah or the wilaya and imama. At that time, the missing element was the essence of religion, which is the imamat, nubuwwat and uluhiyah. Imam found it out, and then Imam fought for it. He said, if divinely appointed leader, the Imam, is amongst you, and you are going towards a person who openly does the sins, then you are making a mistake. Then you are misguided. Then you are deceived. That is why Imam fought. And Imam changed the concept of ibadah. There were people, good reciter of Quran, with thousands of fastings and namaz. Imam said, no, all those tasbih, tahleel are not counted. But there was one person, I'm coming to end of my discussion. Ibadah, if it has a missing element, ibadah is not complete. The thing which was missing at that time was either tawheed itself, because imamat, nubuwwat and uluhiyah, or in other words, tawheed, are interrelated. You can't have the tawheed without having the nubuwwah. You can't have the nubuwwat without having the imamat. At that time, missing element was the wilaya. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you want to do the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasul wa ulil amri minkum. Three of them are together. You can't say ati'u Allah is okay, but ati'u Rasul and ati'u wa ulil amri minkum are not accepted. No, all of them are command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you want to obey, the obedience completes with three of them. That means at that time, imamat was missing. That means nubuwwat was also missing. Uluhiyat was also missing. Imam fought for it. What do we miss today from our ibadah? We need to find it out. And we need to rectify it. That is why we see people who are not having the numbers in ibadah. These people were also there with Imam Hussein, with maybe 1 or 2 or 1 week of ibadah. But Imam assured their Jannah, and Imam said, I'm assuring your Jannah, whereas you are a very newly converted Muslim. But on the other hand, Mawla, in your enemy's camp, there are people with thousands of rakats of namaz. Why you are not assuring them with the Jannah, with paradise, with prosperity, with salvation? Imam would reply that those people went after numbers. And this person went after the quality, after the essence of the ibadah, essence of the worship. One example is Wahab Kalbi. He was an Nasrani, he was a Christian. But according to many of the narrations, like some days before, at one of the points when Imam was traveling from Medina to Makkah and Makkah towards Kufa, Imam met the family. Wahab himself, and he was like 25 years of age. How many of us are even younger than that, near 25 years of age, yeah? And he at that time understood what is the essence of the worship. How many of our 25 years of age brothers and sisters are taking this much serious, that I need to understand what is the essence of my ibadah? I'm not talking about volumes of knowledge. I'm asking about very few things. Baba, you are reciting your namaz, 5 times of namaz. Majority of the things are common. You just understand what you are reciting. Don't go after the very lengthy du'as. Go with the very few ta'qibat that you do. Or here, astaghfirullah, alladhi la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. Understand what you are reciting. When you understand, you can go. I was watching one of the videos where a person is reciting only the word of Hussein. And the moment he recites Hussein, all of the people are crying. Oh, what is there? He hasn't recited any Masai. Why you are crying? They are crying because the essence, the emotion is there. I recite numbers of raka'at. But when that emotion, that essence, that mindfulness is not there, then it doesn't count. Because I'm not there. It could be maybe a computer or something who can recite better than me. AI voices are there. They can recite better than me. So if only recitation, uttering some of the words is ibadah, then they are doing ibadah, better ibadah than me. So this is what we need to understand. At that time, the wilayah was missing. But Wahab understood what is the essence of ibadah. Wahab understood how I can go the journey of thousands of years in one night, in 2 nights, in some days. And he went, and he went. He accepted Islam at that time. According to some narrations, he converted. He converted in those few days. He understood the essence of Islam, essence of Nubuwah, essence of Tawheed, essence of Imamah. That when Imam is in need of an assistance and help, then nothing is important, even if you are newly married person. How many of us have ever thought that if my Imam needs me, tomorrow when my Imam is going to come from the occultation and he is going to reappear, how prepared am I? How many of us have thought that? That if my Imam is going to be in need of me, am I prepared enough? Let's say in the same field that we are expert in. But have you ever thought that let me prepare for some days, some hours, some minutes, some seconds for my Imam? Let me read it down this book for my Imam. Let me prepare my exam for my Imam. Let me go to my office for my Imam. Let me do my business for my Imam. How many times we have thought about this? But we have Wahab, who, when he comes to his mother, he says, "Oh mother, what do you want from me?" And his mother says, Wahab says, "Oh my son, we have understood what is the reality and what is the haqiqah. What is the salvation. Now we are going for our prosperity, for our salvation. And that is going to be your martyrdom. That is going to be your death. That I will get satisfied, I will get pleased the moment I see you as a martyr. The moment you will get martyred, that is the time when I will be pleased with you. And Wahab in the beginning must have thought that maybe my mother is asking me to go to the battlefield and fight for a while, and maybe then I can come back to my mother. And Wahab did so. Wahab, after going through all those stations and all, he joined the army of Imam. Only after few days of ibadah, he joined the army of Imam. And then on the day of Ashura, Wahab was amongst the first people to ask Imam, "Oh, Aba Abdullah, give me the permission to go towards the battlefield. Let me go towards the battlefield and fight for you." Then Imam, after saying no for a number of times, then Imam said, "Yes, oh Wahab, you can go towards the battlefield." And then Wahab went towards the people, and then he fought. According to the narrations, he killed many of the peoples, maybe hundreds of the peoples, and then he came back to the mother. "Oh mother, oh mother, I fought for Imam Hussein, I fought for Aba Abdullah. Are you satisfied with me? Are you pleased with me?" Mother went back and came back and said, "No, my son, I will not get pleased with you unless I see you martyred, unless I see you sacrifice yourself for Imam Hussein." And this time Wahab went on to the battlefield. Now Wahab was fighting with the enemies. All of a sudden, one of the enemies cuts the hand of Wahab. The moment the wife of Wahab saw this situation, she went to the battlefield to defend her husband. The moment Wahab saw his lady over there, his wife over there, he said, "Oh, my wife, go back to the tents." But that lady stood over there and defended Wahab until she got martyred first. I would say, "Oh, the wife of Wahab, you are so lucky that you defended your husband and you got martyred before your husband get killed." But ask Layla and Rubab on the day of Ashura, when Rubab and Layla would see Imam Hussein trampled under the horses of enemies, but they cannot do anything. Yes, Wahab went on and fought for Imam Hussein until they killed Wahab. They chopped off his head, and then the enemies threw the head towards Imam Hussein's tent. And the moment Wahab saw the head, she took the head and threw the head back towards the enemies, and she announced, "Whatever we sacrifice for Imam Hussein and Ahlul Bayt, we never take it back." ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون.